you think the CRM battle is decided, think again. I'm Robert Peter from Redcup Code, and this is Morning Redcup, the podcast where we talk to the people that are shaping and implementing the future of business technology. Today we dive into the new wave of cloud CRM, SAP Sales and Service Cloud version 2 against Salesforce. What's real, what's hype, and what matters for your next move. I would now give you guys the opportunity to introduce a little bit. Edgar, I hand the mic to you.
Okay, thanks, Rob. So my name is Edgar Martinez. I have 16 years of experience working in the IT industry, particularly focused on enterprise software development. I started my career as a software developer, but from there I played different roles like project manager, tech lead, solution architect. And later I joined the SAP, where I got experience also working with mobile applications, memory databases, the cloud, of course, and now I got some experience working with AI. So yeah, that'd be a little bit about myself and my background. I'm glad to be here with you guys today.
Borut, and you are for years already with the SAP CRM products. That's what I learned in our pre-recordings. So yeah, maybe you share a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. Great to be here, first of all. Yeah, it's been quite a few years. I think more than 15 now. Yeah, that when I started with SAP Consulting, I already started in the CRM on-prem days, and I also did my share of ERP consulting because I was also working like an SD consultant. So I've seen both the CRM and the ERP side, and yeah, now it's been quite some years that I'm working on as a CX consultant on the Sales and Service Cloud, so the cloud CRM solutions from SAP. So that would be my brief introduction.
Cool. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's focus a little bit with the elephant in the room. We already talked about that a little bit earlier, like the Agentforce 3 that was pushed by Salesforce. Edgar, is that just an innovation, or a hype? What would you say from your perspective?
Yeah, so I've seen things developing these days, and overall, I think that it can be a little bit of both, right? It can be a little bit of hype in the sense that pretty much every company is these days kind of rebranding their solutions to say, yeah, we're implementing agents. And at the same time, it can be definitely some implementation that is going on there. But I think the most interesting part is if this implementation that we're seeing is happening under particular circumstances, right? When companies go and customize and tailor, let's say, the test environment to wherever they have, then it tends to work great. And whenever you go as a customer and just try with your data and try to go kind of directly, then sometimes it doesn't work that well. So I think it really depends on how well this technology is being deployed and how they are actually, testing against real scenarios. What will tell us if we're actually seeing just hype, or we are seeing a product that actually deliver results. So that's what I'm seeing happening these days on that front.
Sure. Borut, what are your words on that? So do you already had some insights about that Agentforce 3 from your customer side, or is that kind of very blurry from your perspective?
I don't have any real insights from the field, like implemented scenarios and what was gained from them. I would say that you can feel the hype. You can feel Salesforce. You can see SAP, other providers really trying to show that they can bring something to the table with AI, that they can enhance their products. And I think there is some reality to this. We can see every one of us who tries to work with some AI products, they're getting better day by day, month by month. I think there are some real opportunities here, but it will take some time to measure real business impact, right? There are already some companies. I think it was McKinsey had a quite a big study, or it was someone else, but that they showed that there are really not a lot of companies who can see any real business impact. So I think it will take some time, some trial and error, maybe not the first, but the second or the third iteration, the business value will start to show up. So yeah, maybe now it feels like more hype than reality, but I think that in the future we could say that this AI wave will really bring some change and some added value.
Yeah. Now talking about the other side, the good side, SAP Sales and Service Cloud version 2, which is often, described as the clean core CRM solution, which was like completely reinvented, and also technology-wise revamped on a completely new technical stack. But is that also from your perspective, guys, is that enough to compete against Salesforce, not only Salesforce, the Salesforce ecosystem? What would you say? Or you want to start?
Yeah, it's certainly not enough. I don't think so. If we start from the premise that in the last years, if you compare the SAP success in the CRM market and the Salesforce success in the CRM market, it is clear that Salesforce was more successful, right? And I don't think it was only from a technological point of view. The Salesforce platform was certainly, more mature, quicker than the Sales and Service Cloud, or what was once called the old Cloud for Customers, C4C, what we call today the V1. But I don't think it was a matter only of technological differences. I think it's also a matter of user experience, which Salesforce probably got better, attacked it from a better angle. And I think the ecosystem is the Salesforce ecosystem that Salesforce built around their solutions, allowing partners, really small partners sometimes, to offer add-on solutions was a really smart move and brought a lot of value, a lot of flexibility to customers. So I think it's multifaceted, and I think all these three themes that I have mentioned will be the ones that SAP will need to focus on. It is not just saying, okay, we recognize that we need to go to the latest and greatest tech. They will have to prove themselves also on other fronts.
But to make that crisp, what you just said, you refer to the version 2 or the version 1?
Sorry. No, I was referring to the version 2, starting from where SAP started, right? Version 2. Now, if we are talking about the technical differences between version 1 and version 2, it's a huge one with the microservices architecture, with a clean core approach that should give a lot of flexibility to customers. But I don't think this is enough to compete with Salesforce. I think user experience, which SAP, from what I have seen, is giving a lot of attention in version 2. So that's a really good thing. What I still need to be convinced is about the ecosystem. So allowing bigger and smaller software houses, let's call them like that, to develop add-ons and allow customers to use them along the Sales and Service Cloud V2.
True. Yeah. Yeah, I mean the sub store with regards to the version 2 is still like not on the same level like the Salesforce store is. Yeah, that's true. There are many more options to extend your solution. Edgar, you also have an opinion on that, I think.
Sure. I mean, from my perspective, I'd say that most of the opportunities for the V2 will come from the possibility to extend the platform, right? I think on the sales side, you get a good level of extension capabilities. But then again, whenever we are talking about extending V2, we are talking about leveraging all the services that you get on BTP, for example. And now that seeing the introduction of SAP AI Core, the AI Launchpad, GenAI Hub, all of those tools alongside Joule, I think it will become, exciting to see all the possibilities that we get in terms of the extension. Plus, of course, we are talking about perhaps different customer profiles, as Borut was mentioning. Sometimes, if you are already on the SAP landscape and you have the opportunity to integrate, directly through BTP, then that definitely comes with some value added, both on the transactional, but also on the data perspective, right? The insights that you get from getting this data together and really, there are tons of possibilities on that front. So, yeah, it is true that two platforms might have their own particularities, perhaps particular customer profiles, but I'm seeing advantages and potential there for V2, in particular on all these things that we can be adding now and moving forward. So, yeah, I think that's something worth seeing now in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, recently we posted something, or rather I posted something on the comparison of the two platforms, which was rather in comparison to the Salesforce solution. The version 2 solution is much more advanced with regards to the microservice architecture, the completely new from scratch developed user interface, which is cutting edge technology at the moment, or rather very appealing for the end users. Then, of course, the integration to SAP solutions, since it works on the BTP platform, and then, of course, the AI capabilities. But what people see, especially if we consider the feedback from the community, from the LinkedIn community, that the ecosystem is less accessible. They rather rate that as an issue. What are your thoughts on that? Maybe just one or two sentences on that. Would you confirm that, or is the SAP ecosystem evolved that rather over the last 10 years?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So from my perspective, I'd say it's definitely transforming itself. I remember that if we speak about 10 years back, right? It was pretty difficult even to find information about the product itself. And it's incredible sometimes when I think about it. But these days, I've seen a lot of work in terms of sharing and opening the community. So easier whenever you are working with SAP to find more relevant information, and it's becoming easier to understand and operate. And on that front, I'm also seeing these particular offerings. There's one called Joule for Consultants, and I think if you get the possibility to go and just ask a LLM that is specialized on SAP knowledge, right? in operations and all of that stuff. I think that definitely talks about how the community is changing. So from my perspective, I'd say I really feel it's more open now.
Yeah, I feel the same. I think SAP has done a lot on this front. They recognize they need to be more open. There's still some ground to cover, but even I am sometimes surprised today when I see that certain, piece of knowledge, certain documentation, I don't know, APIs, I see it. Oh, but that's a public link. That's that's a good thing.
Not possible in the old days.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely not possible. Some things are still still hidden somewhere. But I think SAP is showing that they are now thinking a lot about this openness and about getting the resources outside and being easily searchable and easily consumable. So I think SAP is going into the right direction.
It's definitely catching up. Yeah, it's also my perception. And I think they do a lot about getting the community together. Great example is the Devtoberfest that is currently running. Also very great event. And yeah, if people have a chance to join there, then I think there are lots of things to learn. But yeah, let's come to another perspective, rather the customer perspective. So if companies consider to change their CRM system, what is your take? What is your recommendation these days on what they should do? Is it clearly go for Sales and Service Cloud version 2, or rather wait, or rather consider a completely different CRM solution or completely different SAP solution? What are your ideas on that? Borut, maybe I think since you're currently on site, on customer side, and have field experience, so to say, with the CRM customer itself, what do you see?
Yeah, it really depends on if you already are an SAP customer or not. If you already have in-house an implementation of SAP Sales and Cloud version 1, in that case, I would say start to investigate how much version 2 already covers from your processes or from your core processes. Maybe wait a little. If not everything is covered, it is really crucial. Start to run some pilots and give it a chance, even if you had a lot of challenges with using the V1 and let's say the user acceptance of the V1 solution, because I still think it is worthwhile, because Salesforce is also not the silver bullet to every problem. Okay, I've seen a lot of customers that are struggling with challenges with Salesforce and with other platforms. There are CRM platforms that have their pros and cons, so it really depends on the situation where you are. For customers that are not on that today do not have an SAP CRM solution in-house, I would say it really depends on the industry. I think there are some industries where SAP knowledge is really unmatched from Salesforce or from anyone else. So for these kind of industries, like for example, I don't know, utilities, some big machinery manufacturing, first thing that popped to my mind, I would say that SAP is probably the right solution, at least exploring it and doing a comparison with probably Salesforce or with any other solution.
Edgar, that was very, very comprehensive answer from Borut. Can you add anything?
Sure. Well, from my perspective, I think Borut is right in the sense of he's providing some good criteria on how you can decide what to do next. From my perspective, I would also encourage current companies currently using or thinking about migrating to a different CRM. Take a look at the roadmap, right? What's planned in the near and mid-term for the platforms, and depending on how that matches your strategy, then you can also use that as a factor to decide, right? In the end, these two platforms are, as Warren was mentioning, solving specific problems, and depending on how it matches in terms of the functional side, but also the technology side, right? I think that can also move the needle for your company. So I'd say take a look at the roadmaps, and you might get surprised.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, the motivation is definitely one of the core factors. So, like, if you have very much the need of doing a change, and your implementation currently feels like, yeah, a patchwork of good intentions and bad integrations, for instance, and naturally, the bad integrations come with, yeah, using is SAP ecosystem together with a Salesforce solution. Then I think the natural answer is like considering rather continuing using a CRM solution from SAP and integrating with that, because it most likely will go much easier hand in hand, especially when it comes to future upgrades or future innovation cycles. Yeah, I think there are many different angles that you have to consider answering that question. It's a very complex one, but yeah, I think people that are managed to follow that podcast here until that point know who to ask on that. Brilliant insights, guys. Thank you so much for your time, for your ideas, and sharing your experiences so far. I think we are going to have very soon another episode. Maybe it goes in that episode more on the extensibility of the Sales and Service Cloud version 2, and giving more insights about what customers really can do with that.